Sing a happy song. We're back
Yeah, it's been a while.
after like a kind of unintended hiatus. See, every year Dad goes on a trip to Disney, and we were gonna record beforehand, but I couldn't get the movie in time. But now we're here. Like Amazon's like, hey, you can watch this for free, but you have to watch like 7 ads. And I was like, no, I'll just rent it when I get some money. And so see, normally like we stick to like cartoons and stuff. However, I'm also willing to do some like action stuff because this ended up being pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's a recommendation of mine. It's one of my underrated favorites.
Yeah, so let's just get into the voices. This is a 2014 satirical horror film directed by French Irene director Majan Strapati. I really hope I'm saying her name right.
Yeah.
And you guys might have recognized that name because I remember when I was looking, I'm like, wait a second, I know that name. She is mostly known for her art, her graphic novel autobiography, Persepolis. Again, I'm probably butchering the name. Gained international acclaim, and it was later adapted into an animated film.
That she co-directed. And she also did a second book, Chicken with Plums, that Oscar film adaptation. And she even wrote a biographical graphic novel on Marie Curie. Sorry if I
She's a
butchered
very
that.
interesting person.
The script...
No, you got it right.
The script was written by
Okay.
Michael R. Perry. He's a screenwriter who mainly works in TV shows such as Law and Order SVU, Sweet Tooth, and Erie, Indiana.
And the lead is Ryan Reynolds before Deadpool days. The movie was received positively, and Reynolds even said it's one of his favorite films that he's worked on. Although due to its limited release, it only grossed $2.2 million. It gets to $11 million budget.
Yeah.
So technically, it's considered a failure, but I kind of feel like this became a cult classic.
Oh, definitely.
So, two things. First off, Ryan Reynolds needs to be in more movies where he's not like playing a Deadpool-esque character. Like, come on, please. He's actually crazy talented. And second, am I kind of misses like good dark comedies? I feel like we haven't had one in a very long time.
Yeah, some people... I feel that the problem is some writers and directors, they sometimes don't know when to go... to pull back, or sometimes to go too far.
Yeah, like, and a lot of them I think forget it's not about being dark. It's about being dark and funny and witty because we're gonna get into it, but the thing is that the character that Ryan Reynolds plays, he's not necessarily a bad guy. As we get into it, you'll see what I mean. But that's another thing is they'll sometimes just make like the characters super unpleasant.
Like,
and then it's like,
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No, go
like,
ahead.
they actually... Reynolds' portrayal of the character, whose name is Cherry, by the way, he portrays him as sympathetic, like he's a suffering schizophrenic who works at a plumbing fixtures factory warehouse in a small town called Milton.
Yeah. And so as we introduce to him first, we find out that he's been at this job for a little while, and they're like, hey, we're going to be having like a barbecue thing. Like even his boss likes him and everything, but then I think it's like the second day he comes home, we realize he thinks that his dog Bosco and his cat, Mr. Whiskers, are talking to him.
Oh, and,
He is like,
oh, no, wait, before that, he goes to his therapist, who,
oh, that's right.
he tries to hide some things from her, and, like, she asks him, are you taking your medication, Jerry? Yeah. You know how important it is that you gotta take your medication.
He's like lying, but not really. He's sort of like, hiding the truth.
Yeah,
And we're going to find out
yes.
why he takes the pills. He mentioned his mother. Keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah. And this is where the animals come in, and you got this.
Okay, so he has a
Mm-hmm. 'Cause,
orange cat named Mr. Whiskers who, he, he sort of like, hides the truth. And we're going to find out why he takes the pills. He mentioned his mother. Keep that in mind. Okay, so he has a orange cat named Mr. Whiskers who, he sort of like, hides the truth. And we're going to find out why he takes the pills. He mentioned his mother. Keep that in mind. Okay, so he has a orange cat named Mr. Whiskers who is like, so it's sort of like, I think it's supposed to be kind of like a yin and yang thing. Bosco is
Uh,
the good side, Mr.
he,
Whiskers is the crazy
yeah,
side.
Bosco's a dog, and yeah, the first thing that come out of Mr. Whiskers' mouth was, "Did you fuck the bitch?"
Yes. Okay, Mr. Whiskers has an extremely dirty mouth. And Mr. Whiskers and Bosco were both voiced by Reynolds, which is very impressive. Because I didn't realize that until
Yeah,
later.
me neither.
Um, yeah, but it's obvious that the thing is Jerry is struggling with like schizophrenia. Part of him knows that he should be taking the pills, but he's like fighting with himself.
Yeah, like the reason he doesn't is because he's so desperate and lonely that the voices coming out of his animals are basically the only company he has, which is
Yeah,
really
and
sad.
see, it's obvious he has like a massive crush on one of his coworkers named Fiona, and like he even invites her out, but for some reason she doesn't. Okay, so here's the thing: is like he does come off a little awkward,
Mm-hmm.
but like Fiona says, like kind of implies she's gonna meet him, but then instead goes to karaoke with her female colleagues instead of calling Jerry and be like, "Hey, I can't make it."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she didn't do that. It was kind of messed up. Like, just say you're not interested, but like, okay, so this is where we get into
Dog
the
stuff.
murders. So
Oh
what
yeah.
happens? Her car doesn't start. Jerry was at this Chinese restaurant that had like a Chinese Elvis impersonator. He's driving home, and he passes the place where they work. That's where Fiona's car was. Fiona's car can't work. He gives her a lift. Everything is fine until they hit a deer.
Yeah. Deer does rams. They hit a deer and its head does bust through Jerry's front windshield, and this is where Jerry's voices schizophrenia also comes into play, where he hallucinates that the deer is begging him to kill him and end his suffering. And
So here's the thing. Now, I do understand where Fiona's coming from, because first of all, they've just hit a deer. The deer's head went through the windshield, so there is a dead deer in front of her that's bleeding. Jerry takes out a knife, and because as we said, the voices, the deer is saying, "Please kill me." So Jerry kills the deer. Now, I understand that like Fiona's rightfully freaked out, but I also feel like Jerry was trying to do a good thing because there's no way the deer would have survived. He was trying to do a mercy killing. But also, why did he have a knife?
yeah, like he chases after her as he runs, still holding a knife, but he trips and
Jerry
accidentally stabs
impales
her,
her.
and he repeatedly says sorry as he repeatedly stabs her, and yeah, it was a dark scene where blood was starting to come out of her mouth. And
Yeah.
Jerry, you can tell he's genuinely sad about this. As he says it every time he stabs her, and goes back and to his apartment and starts crying and rushes away the blood on his. And
So what does he do? Well, he goes and he's talking with Bosco, Mr. Whiskers.
yeah,
And since Bosco was the voice of reason, he's like, "You should go to the cops."
yeah, but Mr. Whiskers, on the other hand, and insists that Jerry shouldn't be ashamed of killing someone. And unfortunately, Jerry starts listening to Mr. Whiskers more, as Mr. Whiskers insists he has to get rid of the body.
Because even if they couldn't, like, this, I think it was, when was this movie?
It was
2014.
2014, yeah.
Yeah, the forensics would have been good enough to, like, for it to go back to him, so he chops up the body and puts it in, like, Tupperware containers. But also, since he's...
Yeah. And he leaves her severed head in the fridge.
Now, see, he sees it as, like, this really, she's still, who plays Fiona? Jim Arton? She's a very pretty lady, but, like, he still sees it as a very pretty young lady, and she's talking to him. And see, at first she tells him to take the pills. And then we sort of see how, like, severe his hallucinations are because he takes them. Now, see, at first his apartment looked like it was pretty clean. It looked a little like dated, but it was clean. He lives like above a bowling alley. But when he takes the pills, we see that it is disgusting. There are
Oh yeah.
garbage bags everywhere. There's cat poop. It
Oh yeah. Oh wait, and
flies.
before that, like he has a nightmare about his abusive upbringing from his father, and
Oh,
also
that's right.
snippets of a sock puppet he had as a kid.
What was it called? Monkey Bunny or something?
Yeah, I think so. Bunny
So
monkey.
we also
Yeah.
sort of understand why he's like this. There's a reason why he seems a little more childlike than other people, because I think part of him is still I think he's had stunted maturity, if that makes sense. But yeah, we see part of his upbringing, and his dad even says, "You and your mother, you're both psychos." Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah. And that's when he snapped back to reality where his apartment is a fucking mess. It's surrounded by trash, ass, and there's still blood splatter from him dismembering Fiona's body.
It's bad.
And a
It's
bunch
really
of
bad.
animal feces as well. And
And also, the thing is like, he can't hear Bosco and Mr. Whisker's voices anymore. And it makes him upset. He's like, talk to me, please.
And Fiona's dismembered head doesn't say anything either, and he becomes so horrified that he just dumps all of his medication down the sink.
Yeah. And then, like, she even tells him, oh, those pills were rubbish. And, like, see, I think this is kind of funny scene because she's, like, being overly British. Like, the absolute biggest British stereotype in the world. Like,
Because
the way
it's-
she's talking.
Because it's Jerry's mind making us sound like
And
that.
I did find that kind of funny. Okay, and like see, I think what is interesting is like, since he's cut off her head. If you guys don't know, when a dead body starts to like decay, things don't stay. Well, when he's not on his meds, Fiona has perfect hair. She still has on her makeup and everything.
And she talks.
And so, yep, and she even asks him for a friend, and that's where,
That's
so, he's very conflicted. Like, again, the reason I think this one works is that you do kind of feel bad for Jerry, because technically Fiona's death was an accident.
yeah, but this time Fiona is asking him to kill on purpose.
Because she's so lonely in the fridge. And again, since he flushed all his medication, he can't, he can't break, like, out of the hallucination. Also, Anna Kendrick is in this movie.
Oh yeah.
And I forget how talented she is sometimes. Like, I feel a lot of people sometimes sleep on her. But she plays Lisa, another coworker of Jerry's and Fiona's.
And Lisa actually has a crush on Jerry, but he was oblivious to it for a while.
It was obvious he was not picking up the not so subtle hints, but since, Fiona asked for a friend, I think originally Jerry was gonna, try to lure Lisa into a false sense of security, but he does actually end up falling for her.
Yeah, especially when after they talk for a while and he brings her to his house. Well, his childhood house, I should say. It's like a desolate house in the woods. It's where
It's somehow still there. I guess they decided not to knock it down. Unless somebody else owns it. I'm not sure, but it's just there, empty.
And we flash back to when Jay was a kid and his mother also suffered from schizophrenia, and her justification for the voices was she was convinced it was angels talking to her.
Angels. And that does sound like a common,
Thing with
like,
schizophrenia, yeah.
yeah. Now, I just want to say neither of us are doctors, but like, I remember like taking a psychology class a long time ago, and they talked about schizophrenia, and people would say, like, they would give the voices names, be like the monsters, but a lot of times there were people who thought angels were talking to them. And that kind of, in a weird way, makes sense, because in the Bible, angels like spoke to a lot of the biblical heroes, like or like with Moses, Jesus came down, and God came down in the form of a burning bush. So it's like, in a weird way, it does make sense.
Yeah, so it's the night she's about to be committed, and she desperately tries to kill herself by slitting her throat, but she's too weak to do it, and she begs her son, who's a child, to kill her instead. And
This was a very sad scene. I'm gonna be like 100% honest with you because, okay, first of all, Jerry's a child here. You should not be asking a child to do something so demanding and dark. But second, it's obvious he does it because he loves his mother, which makes it all the more worse.
yeah, so you can see why he was committed for a while.
Mm-hmm. And see, the thing is, I'm not sure how old he was. Does it say how old he was?
I don't know. It seems like maybe late adolescence, early teen, maybe.
So I'm thinking maybe he was not tried as an adult because I'm thinking. So again, I'm not like I don't know like all the things about the law, but I do know when it comes to like age, that can sometimes play a fact in how long a person is in jail. So since he was a minor, he might have not been tried as an adult. Because I'm like, wait, he managed to get out. And I think, like, he's supposed to be, what, in his 30s, I think, in this?
Yeah, like he's trying to re-enter society, and he has a court-mandated therapist, and why his boss also is in touch with the authorities.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I think that if he had been much older, they probably would have tried him for an adult and he wouldn't have gotten out. But I think this was a case where it's like, oh, he's a child, you know? Because sometimes there is such a thing where it's like maybe a kid was doing something very stupid and somehow that resulted in someone's death. A lot of times it comes down to did they understand what they did? Were they capable of understanding? So I think that's because like I was like, wait, how the heck did Jerry get out? And then it's like, oh, he was a teen when this happened. Okay, there's no way they would have like tried him as an adult, even though he did kill somebody.
Yeah, so things get better with Jerry and Lisa, while some of her co-workers, however, are confused about where Fiona is. And one night, Jerry watches TV. He hears a story about how partial remains of Fiona was heard. I mean, was found in the woods. So his her death wasn't as clean as he thought, and he even starts to hallucinate that the sheriff is calling him a murderer through the TV screen. Which was chilling.
Mm-hmm. And so this is when things start to get, you know, a little worse. Well, Lisa wanted to surprise Jerry with like a gift, so she shows up at his house completely unannounced. And I'm not exactly sure how Jerry gets locked out of his home, but he does. And so he goes through the skylight. Well, apparently Lisa can pick locks. And that's what she does. And then she enters the home and she sees what it really is for, you know, because it's all messy and nasty. And this is when, like, you know, shit kind of hits the fan, so to speak.
Yeah, she finds Fiona's dismembered head, and during the entire time as he's trying to explain, he hears Mr. Whiskers talking to him, but of course, this time, you don't hear him. I mean, she's even confused about what's going on. Like, it was a genuinely chilling scene and a bit of a whiplash tone. But apparently that's a bit of a staple for Marjane's work, apparently. I heard Perseverance was like that, too.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It is. So, which is, like, she's really good at it, where she does this thing where it's, like, she sort of, you know, builds, like, I guess, a false sense of security. It's like, oh, things are gonna be fine. No, they're not. But, like, I also do appreciate that Lisa tries to defend herself. Like, she locks herself in the bathroom and she takes out the, the towel rack?
Yeah, and tries to hit him and runs into the bedroom. And as she, at first it seems like she's gonna try to calm down, but she tries to make a run for it, and when Jay pushes her back, her neck snaps against the bed frame of his bed.
Yeah, he pushes her hard. Also, like, Ryan Reynolds is much bigger than she
Mm-hmm.
is. So, yeah.
Yeah, so he keeps as he's dying, he keeps saying it's okay and cuddles right next to her as he dies. And
And then he strangles her and dismembers hers too.
yeah, so and puts her head right next to Fiona's.
And they both smile at him because, we believe he believes that they're still very pretty and alive. And to make matters worse, so Allison, who also works at the company where Fiona and Lisa work, she's been trying to contact Lisa, and one of the she says, like, yeah, she went home with Jerry, and one of the other co-workers says, Jerry, oh yeah, that guy's messed up. Go to this website and type in. I guess they didn't tell the co-workers he had been, you know, in jail or like
Mm-hmm.
in a mental hospital. Now, I mean, I don't know the legality of it, but I kind of feel like if you're going to hire someone who has a
Yeah, like he
record, wouldn't
has
it
to
be
be
maybe.
to disclose it.
Yeah, that is true. I think, like, from what I understand, they can't disclose it, but I kind of feel they should have just because, I mean, that's a really big thing. And then, see, Allison makes the mistake of going to his apartment and he kills her. So now he has three heads
Mm-hmm.
in the fridge.
Yeah, and this is the
And it,
part where Bosco, where he talked about how he showed Jerry he's a good man, but now, he says as he was wrong. He says
yeah.
that Jerry is evil.
Yeah. It's very obvious that Jerry's losing like control of the situation, and he goes to Dr. Warren. I'm not sure why he did. Maybe he thought she could help because, like, when you look at him, you can tell he's not okay. And as Dr. Warren's talking to him, Jerry starts to reveal that he did kill some people. Now, surprisingly, I think Dr. Warren did a pretty good job. She managed to sort of keep her cool for the most part, but she tries to call 911. He sees her. He freaks out. Instead of killing her, he kidnaps her and takes her to an open field so he can talk to her.
Mm-hmm. And this is where she talked to him about intrusive thoughts, like how everyone has intrusive thoughts, but that doesn't mean they should act upon them.
Mm-hmm. And that is true. Like, we all have intrusive thoughts, but for, I think, some people, it is probably worse. But I do think, like, she's actually doing a really good job maintaining, like, a level of, like, professionalism. Because if it had been me, I probably would have been freaking out. But, she does that, and then he decides to take Dr. Worm home.
Yeah. And but what they don't know is that earlier his co-workers were doing some investigating, and
Yeah.
like Bosco gets out, and that's where they found the mess and the
Mm-hmm.
co-workers' dismembered heads.
Yeah, because see, so they're in the car. One of them gets out. I can't remember the guy's name, but he gets out. I think it was George or something, and he goes to the back and finds. I think it's maybe Fiona's car, and I think Allison's car. And so he then goes upstairs. He manages to open the door, and then he tells the guy in the car, "He's like, we need to call the police." So Jerry brings Warren back to his disgusting apartment and lies him on the couch. And, like, I thought this was kind of funny because Mr. Whiskers just sort of went over and sat on Dr.
Yeah.
Warren. I'm like, that is very cat behavior. So I just thought that was kind of funny. Um, but then Jerry, because again, he's still having, hallucinations. Um, I think Dr. Warren said she wanted to call someone because she didn't want to be alone. So Jerry got the idea to bring out, I think it was Fiona's head,
Yeah, Fiona's
and put
head.
it on the table. But Dr. Warren, of course, screams because she's seen,
Uh,
a corpse,
yeah.
a headless, a bodiless corpse. Fiona screaming.
And
Dr. Whiskers is
Mr.
Mr.
Whiskers
Whiskers
just doing like
screaming.
a oh.
He's not taking this seriously at all. But unfortunately, the police. Well, I mean, fortunately for Dr. Warren, the police arrive.
Yeah,
Uh.
and that's
So.
that's when Jerry tries to escape by calling down on a ventilation shaft in his bathroom. But as he climbs down, he accidentally knocks open a gas pipe.
Yeah, so, gas is not a good thing. Because even Dr. Warren says, I smell gas. Um, Thankfully, the Mr. Whiskers is saved. Bosco apparently was rescued later, too.
Yeah, like they
I
said,
can't
we
remember one
found
of
a
the...
counter dog. Contact the animal shelter.
Yeah, so both Miss Bosco and Mr. Whiskers will end up alive. It's okay. Um, but see, as Jerry gets... So, like I said, his house is on top of a bowling alley. He's in the bowling alley. Um, he hears the voice of Mr. Whiskers, which is telling him to escape, but Bosco says, you don't really have a place in the world anymore. Where would you go? It's just better to
Let the gas put
lie
you
down and...
to sleep.
Yeah. It's a very sad scene, because
Yeah.
again, you do
Like,
feel bad for Jerry, even though he did something wrong. It was obvious he never wanted any of this to happen.
yeah, and when the police found his gas leak, they escape. And before they hit by a big explosion, and you see Jerry, he just lying on the ground as he's slowly dying.
And then there's like this white void, and we see Bosco's and Mr. Whiskers, and like they're like, I really did like you. And he's like, yeah, I liked you too. And Mr. Whiskers says, so long, friend. And they just like, go their separate ways. Because it's like, it's your badness and your goodness, they have to coexist. That's just the way humans are. And then, in the white void, we see Jerry in this like purple suit where he meets his parents, Fiona, Lisa, and Allison, and Jerry apologizes to his victims as Jesus appears. I am not making this up. This is genuinely how the movie ends. It ends like a cheesy like 60s movies, and they're like, because they're all in like really colorful
by Jesus
clothing.
Christ.
Yes, Jesus joins them, and see, and like Jerry even says, "Thank you for dying, and thank you for loving us," which I'm like, okay, that's kind of sweet.
Song.
So it ends on like a bittersweet note, because Jerry unfortunately is dead, but he at least is not suffering anymore, and I think he's in heaven.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe
if
he was
this
hallucinating.
was an afterlife or just his final dying hallucination.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure. So the ending, I think, is kind of left open to interpretation. But yeah, that's the end. So I really enjoyed this. Because I mean, okay, so like I am somebody who actually likes comedy, like horror, and I also like dark comedy. But as we were talking about earlier, dark comedy is hard to do, because some people think if they're just dark and kind of gross, it's like that's dark comedy. It's like, no, you have to actually have an idea, And like I said, the thing about Jerry is the whole thing starts because of an accident. He didn't want to kill Fiona. It technically was an accident, but the thing is after he, started, he unfortunately couldn't stop. And, also I think it's a struggle that a lot of people sort of deal with. Like, are we actually good, or are we just kidding ourselves? Stuff like that. It's a very interesting concept. Also, like I said, I kind of think this might be like my favorite Ryan Reynolds movie besides like Deadpool.
Wow.
Like, I think they're tied for now, because I think like one of the issues a lot of people have with Ryan Reynolds is just like after the success of Deadpool, he's been stuck in that character.
Yeah, definitely.
And that sometimes happens with actors, where it's like in every movie they play the same role. It's just a different character with a different name. So this was like just kind of refreshing to see, because he can do other stuff. Just give him a chance. Put him in some other stuff besides comedies. Okay? Give him a chance to actually act, please. I'm begging you.
Yeah, so, this was one of my favorites. Like, while the shifting tonal whiplash can be John for some, if they can, and accept that, they actually find a stellar black comedy that can be delightfully twisted and genuinely heartbreaking at times.
I would give this, I think I'd give it a 5. What about you?
Yeah, definitely a 5 out of 5. Like, it was definitely one of my favorite underrated cult classics for a while. And
okay.
sorry.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I think I want to try to find some more like underrated live action films because every once in a while we might find something good. Plus, I'm afraid it's like we're gonna run out of animated stuff. But yeah, this was a very good recommendation. Thank you so much,
You're
Chad. And it was
welcome.
just a it's also, like I said, one of the reasons I wanted to make sure we had sort of a mix of stuff is because it's like if we watch something that, like, if every week we're watching something terrible, it's going to affect us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you for the recommendation. All right, so we got some sad stuff to get through
Oh boy.
first. This is super upsetting because, we lost the creator of Dragon Ball Z. Well, um, one of the voice actors for Cell in Dragon Ball Z has unfortunately passed away. Voice actor Dale Wilson has passed
At
away,
the age of
unfortunately.
74. It says here the
Yes.
oh while the specific date wasn't specified, he had lived with prostate cancer and Parkinson's disease
Yeah.
for years. Oh my god.
That's yeah. I'm gonna go look. Okay, so he voiced Cell, Kami, King Yenma, Android 8, and Gauze in Dragon Ball Z. He was also in Card Captors. That was the really bad dub of Card Captor Sakura. He was Cloud Reed. He was in the Vision of Escaflowne, Mobile Suit Gundam, Black Lagoon. Yeah, he was mostly a voice actor for like anime and like Western cartoons. He did have some film credits, but most of it is voice acting. And then this
Oh
one was really
boy.
upsetting for a lot of people. You
David
want to read this one?
yeah, David Lynch, the legendary director and visionary behind Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet, dead at 78.
No.
Oh.
Oh God. And this was like I think what wait when was this? This was January 16th. It's like we had barely been into the month. Like we were halfway through the month and it's like, hey, this really influential and iconic director of horror just died. Oh, thanks. Just great.
Oh Jesus. January
This
was
is
an
so
absolute shit
frustrating.
show.
I know. So as it says, he was diagnosed with emphysema after a lifetime in smoking. Um, so that's I think yeah. So that's what I think contributed to his death. I don't think he was working on anything at the time. He did receive an honorary Oscar for lifetime achievement in 2020. So, like, if you don't know who he is, if you've heard of Twin Peaks, this is the guy who created Twin Peaks. He got famous with this, like, really bizarre film called Eraserhead. And then he went on to write and direct The Elephant Man, about the titular Elephant Man. Then he did Blue Velvet in 1986, Wild at Heart 1990, but Twin Peaks I think is probably what he's best known for. Um, it's like considered quintessential horror. Even though it is an older show, people still really love it. So yeah, this is just really upsetting. And then after that,
Oh boy, let's see. Oh yeah. You got this. Oh god.
okay, just a heads up, guys. I'm going to be talking about sexual assault. So if you cannot handle that, you are free to skip this part. I'm gonna have to find a. Hang on, Gaiman's sexual. So,
Here's your
I think we
talk.
talked about this a few months ago, didn't we?
Yeah, I remember you being devastated. And
Yeah, this was really
he
upsetting.
gives a
So
quote unquote apology. I love how you have apology in quotation marks.
okay, so the Neil Gaiman is considered probably one of the most like probably the best one of the best selling authors like currently. His like work spans like generations, and he's been exposed as to being a sex pest, or I'm just gonna say a rapist. Like 8 different women have accused him of sexual misconduct. I didn't put this in the document, but he's currently being sued, and his ex-wife is also being sued for that. But he delivered this really bullshit apology. Um, no one's buying it, and I think he only did that because a lot of stuff that he had in production has been canceled. Like the season 3 of Good Omens, like as soon as this came out, they just decided to make the last season like a movie. They were going to adapt the Graveyard Book into a movie that's been canceled. They canceled Dead Boys Detective. Sandman is still being released on Netflix, but I think this is going to be the final season. Um, yeah, so there was going to be a Coraline musical that has also been canceled. I think, if I remember correctly, BBC is no longer releasing the Sandman comics. Like, it's just an entire thing. But I didn't add this to the document, but as I said, one of the women is suing him and Amanda Palmer, his ex-wife, because, see, it was, like, bad. I knew it was going to be bad when I read the article, but what really got me is that one of these women was hired to be a nanny for his son.
God.
She was laying in the bed with Gaiman's son. Gaiman came in and started doing stuff to her
Ugh.
while the kid was still in the room.
Holy shit.
Yes! And what makes it worse is apparently, like, Amanda Palmer, his ex-wife, has been, like, not commenting, saying she needs to take care of her son. But the thing is, Amanda, like, brought these women to Gaiman, and basically they would say, hey, he's doing stuff. She didn't do anything. She didn't do a goddamn thing. And I'm like, you don't care about your son. You're just angry that you've gotten caught. So there's this whole mess, but yeah, they're being taken to court, and I hope they lose everything.
Yeah.
And I hope somebody takes that kid away from them. That kid does not deserve to be in that space. So, yeah. All right, now we're going to get on to other stuff, because if we keep focusing on this, I'm going to get really depressed.
Oh, Lady Gaga lands a #1 single.
Again.
Ooh, damn. And fucking ads. A bunch of ads are popping up everywhere. Hang on.
I know. I clicked the article too, and it's like All-Star 2020. It's like, that's not what I'm trying to look at. I'm trying to look at the article. I love the first line of the article. Nature is healing.
Yeah, #1. Let's see what. Let's see. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars Die with a Smile. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this
It's
is
reached the summit.
her second #1 single of the 2020s, following her collaboration with Ariana Grande on "Rain with Me."
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people maybe thought she was like slowing down with her music because she's been like doing a lot of acting. No, this proves she's not.
Yeah, so this is the first time. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So it's been a while apparently since a singer had a #1 hit single in a consecutive decade. Right?
Yeah, that's kind of not surprising. I feel like music charts are sometimes, what's the word I'm looking for? I
Inconsistent.
guess you could say, yeah, inconsistent. Because another thing is, like, you remember when Encanto came out?
Oh yeah.
The songs from the movie specifically were like on the charts for weeks. So I think that's another thing, is you have to think of, you know, other media, because it's like music from other media can get really, really popular. But also another thing is Bruno Mars. I don't know what it is, but anytime this guy works on a song, it becomes a hit. Because another song that came out is called it's APT, Apartment with Rose. And dude, that song is still really, really popular. And I was pretty sure it was like on #1. It was on #1 for a while. And that was also in 2024. Like, this comedian I like said, Bruno Mars just like comes out of retirement to like pay off his debt and makes like the best music you ever heard. I'm like, it's kind of true. Because you won't hear from him for a while, and then all of a sudden he's like, hey, I'm going to make a song. Okay, I'm going to leave again.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm not surprised the song is doing well. It's just anytime Bruno Mars works with somebody, he ends up making gold. All right, and then you sent this to me.
Okay.
We're getting a new...
It seems like a new mascot horror game, Gigaland.
Called Gigaland. I think this might be the first one that maybe takes... Well, no. Indigo Park takes place at a theme park, but there's only a teaser trailer out, but I've seen a lot of like people who play video games talk about it, because it's giving like, you know, a bit of Five Nights at Freddy's, a little bit of Indigo Park vibes. The art for the trailer is really super
Oh
cute.
yeah, definitely.
Um, but it suits it like perfectly. Like there's something more
Mm-hmm.
sinister. There's no information, but I mean, I'm really excited about it. That's why Jad sent me the link because he knows me so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on this. And
Yeah, I'm always looking for new games to play.
oh, that reminds me of yeah, I forgot to add something to the document. Hang on.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see what it's on. That's it.
Go on to. Oh no, there's already a trailer for this. Crap. Is this the poster?
Here we go.
Alright, do you want to read the next one or do you want me to do it?
Oh, this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so first look at Tinker Pan Hook for Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare.
No fucking thank you. I don't want it. And here's the thing. I'm just saying this again. If you want us to review this, you guys are going to have to pay us. We're not doing this. We can't. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Horror was bad enough. I don't think we're going to be able to do this.
Yeah, this guy is part of that Twisted Childhood Cinematic Universe crap, and
Hang on the fucking phone. Did this film already release?
yeah, released.
Oh my god, it did!
And it didn't seem to make that much money.
No, it didn't. It only made 200,000. Oh
Real,
really?
real
Wow,
John difference from how much money the Blood and Honey movies made.
Oh my god! And here's the thing: the budget, according to Wikipedia, it's between 25,000 and 310,000. So that means they didn't make back like their budget at all. Oh my gosh! So was this considered a failure?
I'd say so. Oh, and not to.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
He did say so. It said director Scott Chambers announced plans for a sequel.
Oh God.
It needs to perform well. I don't think this is showing in any theaters in the States because it said it only showed for 3 days. So I have no idea. But yeah, we're not reviewing this unless you guys pay us. I'm sorry, I can't do it again.
Yeah, let this shit die already. And
yeah.
And I think you got the next part.
Yay! Okay, something happy. So, for those of you who don't know, I am a humongous fan of a game called Power Wash Simulator, and they have a lot of DLs. So basically, in Power Wash Simulator, you are just that. You're a power washer, and it is actually a really fun game. It's like super addicting. But they have some DLCs. They had an Alice in Wonderland DLC, a SpongeBob one. They recently released a Shrek one. They have announced they're making a Wallace and Gromit one. I'm so excited! Yeah. It looks adorable.
Definitely.
Because it's in like it's like, you know, Wallace and Gromit's like, it's like world. It's they're like Gromit's dog house, that mechanical dog from one of their shorts. I'm super excited about this. I know my friend Sushi is also going to be excited about this because this is a game we are like addicted to. We used to like do nothing but play this game when we streamed.
Aww.
I'm so excited.
So, yeah, looks cute. And stop motion show.
I'm also excited about this.
Oh, you added this. Featuring My Melody and Kurumi coming. So
okay, so Jad, what's my favorite color?
Pink.
Yes, and what's something else I love?
Hello Kitty.
Yes, so Hello Kitty is owned by a company called Sanrio, and Sanrio has a bunch of characters. 2 of my favorite Sanrio characters are My Melody and Kurumi. And they're getting a show! I'm so excited! So, there's no, like, detail about the plot. It's going to be on Netflix, and it's coming in July. So this is going to take place in the whimsical world of Maryland, and it will follow a cheerful girl named My Melody. She's a little bunny rabbit who wears this pink like hood on her ears with a little blue bow. And then Kurumi is I think Hiromi is supposed to be a bat. I'm not sure, but she has this like black hood on her head that has ears that have little points at the top, and in this she has a little devil's tail. So it's like these characters get put together a lot on merchandise. So it's sort of like hinted at that they're
Hmm.
friends, even though Kuromi's supposed to supposedly be, like no nonsense. But yeah, they're like usually on merchandise together. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, yeah, I think the first time I was exposed to these was merchandise at a nearby Round One arcade. Like there were just prices in a crane game, I think.
Okay, all right. She's a rabbit.
Okay.
She's also a rabbit. She just wears the ears. Okay, I had to check. Yeah, and this is not surprising because they've made a lot of shows based on like Hello
Hmm.
Kitty and some of the various characters. I know a long time ago, very long time ago, they had a Hello Kitty anime. I think they rebooted it. I'm not sure, but yeah. So this is not too surprising, especially because like I'm not sure what it is, but Sanrio has been doing a lot of collabs like in the past few like years. I mean, I'm not like I mean it makes sense because they want to make money, but they've done a bunch of collabs with a Korean beauty company called Cream. They've also done some skateboard collabs. They did one with Igloo, the people who make those what are they called? Lunch boxes that are like insulated. They did one with
Oh.
not Build a Bear, and oh, so this is actually surprising. I was looking at collabs. They've done one with Bruno Mars.
What?
I'm not kidding. There's shirts with Bruno Mars and Hello Kitty on them. I was not aware of this collab until I looked it up.
Oh boy. Oh,
Okay.
that's something.
Nothing to. Yeah, that is something. They also have collab like with Lip Smackers. Um, yeah, they've done a lot of collabs, so I'm not surprised that they're making another like show to cash in on the character's popularity. I mean, I'll be watching it for sure.
And oh boy.
Okay. So I think this one might take a little bit of explaining, so I'm gonna try to explain it. But do you want to? Okay, Megan Thee Stallion is granted a restraining order against Tory Lanez, and I'm hear some of you say, but Rudy, Tory Lanez is in jail. Um, yeah, but you see, for some reason, Tory Lanez thought it was a good idea to basically pay somebody to continue harassing Megan. So he employed bloggers, like people who blog online, to continue to try to defame her while he's in his, serving 10 years in prison.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And thankfully, she went to the judge and the judge granted her the restraining order. It's not in this article, but she is suing one of the people who have been harassing her.
Oh god.
Yeah. This dude just needs to leave her alone.
Yeah, and yeah, hopefully, I'm glad that restraining order is enforced. And
Yeah.
but unfortunately, bad news keeps on rolling as Blake Lively sues It's Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment. Oh my god.
Okay, so I just want to say something. Um, Both me and Jad are aware that Blake Lively kind of sucks as like a person. She sort of has like I guess a mean girl reputation in Hollywood. However, that doesn't mean that she deserves to be sexually
Oh,
harassed.
definitely not.
Mm-mm. So we're gonna have to. I mean, I. So here's the thing: if you don't know who this is or what's going on, we're gonna attempt to explain this. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing about this, but if you absolutely have no idea, I want to give you guys some context. So there was this movie called It Ends With Us. Now, I haven't seen this movie. Have you, Jad?
No.
And apparently, it was sort of like the big thing to talk about for a while. Well, the guy who directed it and also started it, Justin Baldoni, has come under fire because apparently he was extremely creepy to Blake Lively. Um, it there was apparently like a sex scene in it in the movie,
Oh
and he
God.
invited some of his friends to come, like, I guess, watch them film the sex scene, which is just not only weird but like not professional. And also there is a statement where Blake said that while she was trying to like breastfeed her baby, Justin just came into her like
Oh.
trailer and creeped on her. Now, again, the thing, like I said, is I know Blake Lively is a very insufferable, like, famous person. She's very annoying. But the thing is like when she mentioned this, Justin started like trying to, I guess, do damage control, and I don't think it really worked. Because the thing is, he keeps on saying how he's like gonna bury her in court. He hasn't revealed any evidence that he has the evidence to bury her in court. And apparently, like, there are some rumors that Justin Baldoni's like not that great of a guy. Apparently, he sort of gave on like the appearance that he was, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I hadn't heard of him until this. He was famous because of what was it? Ugly Betty or something? It was a show. I can't remember what it was
Ugly
called.
Betty, what's it was called?
Was it
Yeah,
Ugly
that
Betty
woman
or
with the
something
braces
else?
on ABC. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Again, I hadn't heard of him until now. But see, he also tried to sue not just Blake, but Ryan Reynolds and Disney.
What the? Oh,
You hadn't heard of this?
no.
Okay, so I haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, but you
Yeah,
have. Do you remember the character of Nice Pool?
yeah.
Okay, so Justin Baldoni is claiming they based Nice Pool off of him.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and he's demanding that Disney hand over, like, I don't know, something having to do with the
Oh my
script,
God.
like the copies of the script or something. It's ridiculous, and I don't really think he has a legal leg to stand on. This whole thing is a huge mess, but again, we are people who will stand with victims even if they're insufferable. That's not like we don't get to pick and choose who's a victim and who's not. I just have a feeling this whole thing's going to be a mess. Because it's already really, really messy.
And on to some lighter news, though.
Thank God.
This is you, by the way.
Oh, this is old news, but we're going to talk about it anyways. Marvel Rival Season 1 release date and time. Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman join the hero shooter. So, I not so let me see. Okay. Has been okay. Story stitching together sees the Fantastic Four join the game to start Dracula's shenanigans. You'll be able to play all of the characters once they join the roster. So I think right now we have to wait until the second season to try the Thing and the Human Torch. Right now they have added Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to play
Oh,
this
it's a
game.
lot
I
of
have to
fun.
make some room on my computer.
And like,
Yeah, I'm gonna make room on my computer because I really want to
like
play.
Mr. Fantastic, he fights by stretching his arms out to punch opponents from afar, and he can also inflate
Cute.
himself to bounce off enemy projectiles.
Also
And
cool.
Invisible Woman, and he's like a support character. He can heal opponents, create force fields, and go invisible.
Oh, that is cool. And see, thinking about the Fantastic Four reminded me of a piece of news I meant to add because you sent this to me.
Oh,
If I
right.
remember.
Oh, how could I forget that? Like, it's kind of funny how Marvel was sort of shelving Fantastic Four for a while because of them trying to get the movie rights back to Marvel, and now that they got them, we've been seeing a lot of Fantastic Four stuff this year.
Yep. And we have gotten a trailer for the upcoming movie,
Fantastic,
which I think is coming out in July.
yeah, late July. Fantastic Four First Steps. Yeah, here it is. Like, it's supposed to take place in an alternate universe. Like, it's a more futurist take on the 1960s.
Oh. Okay, that explains it. Okay. So I think and see, people are actually excited about this because I'm not sure why, but the past like adaptations of the Fantastic Four have been really
Oh
bad
yeah,
for some reason.
definitely. Yeah.
And it's weird. I feel like this has, I mean, by comic standards, I feel like this is kind of a simpler, like, what is it, hero origin, you know?
Yeah, like apparently it's
I
not
don't know
gonna
if that makes
be
sense.
that. Like
Hmm.
yeah, it's them
Thank God.
grappling with some of the trauma, but
Okay, so I went to go look up the director, Matt Shackman. I hope I'm saying his name right. I'm like, I don't think I've heard of this guy, but he produced and directed
oh
WandaVision.
wow,
He's also worked on The Great, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Fargo, Game of Thrones. I was scrolling down. Okay, so now I'm excited because he directed some of episodes of my favorite live action show, Psych.
oh wow.
Yeah, this guy has a really really good track record with shows he's worked on because he's worked on Judging Amy, Feet Under, Kitchen Confidential, Everybody Hates Chris, Psych, House MD, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Ugly Betty, Weeds, Chuck, Happy
Oh
Endings,
wow.
Revenge, Mad Men, The Good Wife, Fargo. Man, this guy has had a very very good career, and like, see, it seems like he filmed all of the episodes of WandaVision and also wrote for them. So, and here's the thing: I'm not really a big fan of Wanda and Vision as characters, but I actually really, really liked WandaVision. I was genuinely impressed with how good it is, so I'm actually more excited for this now.
Yeah, and they also tease Galactus being the main villain. Like, and he's
Yes,
a
like actual
giant man.
Galactus.
He's not some kind of vortex
Yes.
cloud this time.
I never understood why they did that. It
Okay,
wasn't
that was stupid.
scary. I know he looks kind of weird, but like, dude, you can still make him look scary. It just, the big cloud thing is like, that was stupid. Yeah, so we're both excited for this. Um,
Oh yeah.
did you post
First look
this?
at Until
Did you add this one?
Dawn. Yeah, the Until Dawn is getting a movie adaptation.
Ooh,
Okay, so
very creepy. I like it. So I've talked about this, but when it comes to horror, the atmosphere is super important, and like I'm already getting like, a good feel for the atmosphere.
and let's see.
Toot toot toot
Yeah,
toot.
this is based on the video game of the same name from on PlayStation.
Awesome. Also, I love Peter Stormare.
Mhm.
Peter Stormare. He's playing. Who is he playing?
Not
He
sure.
just he just appeared. Let me see. Hill. He's playing Hill.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so this is like a thing. Let's see. The premise. 1 year after her sister Mulaney mysteriously disappeared, Clover and her friends head into the remote valley where she vanished in search of answers. They find themselves horrifically murdered, only to wake up and find themselves back at the beginning of the same evening. Trapped in the valley, they're forced to
Oh.
relive the nightmare again and again, only each time, the killer threat is different. Each more terrifying than the last, and the only way to escape is to survive until dawn.
So they're stuck in a time loop.
Yeah, from the looks of it, that's one thing that's different from the game.
Interesting. Okay. Also, so Peter Stormare, I think he was a voice actually in the original game. Yes, he was. So he's reprising his role as Doctor Alan
Oh
Hill.
yeah, he was that not so psychiatrist.
See, the thing about Peter Stormare is he's crazy talented. He's so good at playing like the villain. I feel like he has like a bunch of what are they called, video game credits. So it's like, we need someone who's intimidating but suave. Get Peter Stormare because he's so good at it. So yeah, I'm actually excited for that, even though I haven't played the game. I've heard good things about it. I just haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. Now we got, I think, did you add this or did I add this? I can't remember.
I probably added it.
Okay, so I describe panty stalking as South Park meets anime. Because imagine like the two most foul-mouthed characters you've ever met in your life, but they're anime girls.
Yep. Penny and Stacking are angels who fallen from heaven and left on Earth because of their depraved and raunchy behavior.
Yeah, they're the opposite of what angels should be, basically.
And the only way for them to get back is to slay enough demons, and the first 4 years only had one season, but it seems like they're finally making a second one. Like, it's surprising how they didn't do this sooner because of the immense popularity.
It's been 15 years.
Yeah, holy shit.
15 years since the first season. I'm not sure why it took them so long. There might be a reason, but yeah. So the premise is that since they got kicked out of heaven, in order to return, they have to kill a bunch of evil spirits. They get like heaven coins to earn their way back into heaven, and they are under the watch of a black priest named Carter Belt. And they are joined by this random pet called Chuck that looks like the suit Gurr wears in what's it called, Invader Zim, but he just says his name. And see, it ended with Stalking turning out to be, she's either a demon or something, I don't know. She kills Panty, and it was up to another character to find out where she is. I don't know if they're going to continue that, but like I think that's another reason why people were so frustrated, because it ended on a cliffhanger.
I see.
Again, it's been 15 years.
Produced by the predecessor, Gynex, but when the team went to find Studio Trigger, they didn't get the rights to them for a while.
Oh, okay, that's why. So it was a right issue. Okay. I'm excited for this. I don't know how. I mean, the thing is I watched this when I was, kind of young. Like I think I was in high school when this came out. So I don't know if I'll be able to enjoy it, but I hope I do. Because, I mean, I had fun with it. It's, it's like South Park where it's not taking itself too seriously. So hopefully I can still enjoy this.
Yeah, definitely. And, trailer for Daredevil Born Again.
I'm actually excited for this.
Yeah, like I heard a lot of good things about the Daredevil show back when it was on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. So we are getting Daredevil back again. It is going to be on Disney Plus again. And they got, I think is it Charlie Cox who plays him?
Let me look it up.
I'm going to look it up. I got it.
Daredevil.
Yeah, it's Charlie Cox. Mm-hmm. So it looks like they got the original cast back, because it also has the same guy who plays what's his name? What's the name of the character? Kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio, who's amazing. And it kind of looks like they're getting some of the it looks like they got some of the original cast back, so that's good to hear. I know a lot of people were really hopeful because this was one of the better like Marvel series before all the stuff from Disney Plus, because it managed to keep the
more grounded and gritty.
Much more grounded and gritty, but that also suits Daredevil. Daredevil's sort of a Batman-esque villain, because he doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah.
He has to rely on himself.
Yeah, and he's also blind, so he has like heightened other senses, especially hearing. Like he can actually hear your heartbeat, so he knows when you're lying.
Yeah, he was trained by another blind guy to teach him how to survive and fight. And then he later became he's a lawyer by day, and then he becomes a vigilante. And I actually kind of like that, because it makes sense. It's like he's fighting in two different ways. Also, I'm really excited because the guy who plays his best friend, Froggy Nelson, is also coming back. Eldon Henson. I really like him. He's genuinely funny. So yeah, I'm excited about this because, again, I think a lot of people were sort of hoping that they'd, keep the original cast, because they're still good and they still want to be in it. Also, apparently, John Berthol's coming back as the Punisher.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Boy, I can't wait for a bunch of asshole cops to idolize him.
Oh, God. Media literacy is dead. So, I might might get Disney Plus again just for this, because I actually am excited about this. So, I don't know. We'll see.
And
A lot of, like, trailers have come out, even just in this year. We're only in February, and a lot has come out.
speaking of which...
Including this. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought this was you.
Oh, this one's me. Sorry. We have got a view of the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, it only took a shit ton
want
of
it.
leaks for them to finally unveil the damn thing exists.
Yeah, I'm excited but conflicted because I know I'm going to want it, but I don't know if they're going to make it so the Switch is, like, no longer usable. Because, see, my thing is with, like, consoles, I don't buy them right away. I wait. Like a few months.
Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, the Joy-Cons look different. Hopefully they don't drift as much this time.
Yeah, it looks basically like, you know, the first Switch, but it looks like, oh, they're adding a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they made it a little bigger. Yeah, like they made it taller? I'm not sure, but like, I don't know. Some people were complaining. It's like, that's it. It's like, well, they have to sort of wait. They're still probably testing it.
And we got
It looks like the Joy-Cons are a little bit different too, huh?
And we got a very brief glimpse at a new Mario Kart too.
Oh yeah, I remember people were commenting on that because I think people were confused about Donkey Kong looking so vastly different.
Yeah, he got redesigned to look like how he did in the movie.
Oh, okay, I see. So yeah, this is like all they've shown. It looks like we're going to be getting more in March, on the March 2nd of this year. So
April
again,
2nd.
I'm probably going to April. Oh, you're right. My bad. I'm probably again going to. Oh, it says you can play exclusive Nintendo Switch games as well as Switch games on Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. Okay, so like if you want to like buy a game from the Nintendo store, you can play it on your Switch too. Okay, that's good to know.
And
I'm still probably gonna wait, just so they can work out all the kinks first.
So some of you might be wondering what Dana Terrence has been up to after the Owl House ended after she got shafted by Disney. Well,
What is she up to, Jad?
she teamed up with Glitch, the production company behind the Amazing Digital Circus, as a co-creator for the company studio's first hand-drawn series, Knights of Geneva. Don't know if I pronounced that right. Geneva.
No, Knights of Guinevere. It's Guinevere.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. They dropped the teaser trailer like last month, and everybody is
Freaking
freaking
yeah.
out. It's got 3 million views right now. It's been out for 3 weeks. So yeah, a lot of people are extremely excited, and we didn't even get that much. So from what we understand, it is a sci-fi psychological thriller that focus on a young woman who is trapped in a strange virtual reality at the whims of a mercurial AI. Oh wait, no, that's talking about Amazing Digital Circus. My bad. We're not exactly sure what
the premise is.
Knights of Guinevere is, but some people might think it's about has something to do with like a theme park. We're not 100% sure, but like we see this like really pretty lady sort of lying in what I call the Snow White pose. She's in like she's lying, she's got flowers in her hand, and she's on sort of like a slab.
Yeah, well, all these cutesy animals are watching her sleep. But then it suddenly it appears to be an android, and in a elaborate body horror is strapped to an operating table as her mind goes through some scanner, and she's twitching, and a lot of her body parts have been removed. You can see a bunch of gross blue nerves sticking out of her, where her right arm is supposed to be.
Yeah. So the reason I think people are so excited for this, besides it being Dana Terrence, is that Glitch has proven to be sort of a powerhouse in indie animation, because Amazing Digital Circus has done extremely well. Nobody, I think, was expecting it to do that well. As of this recording, the pilot has 367 million
Oh wow.
views. And guys, that's rare. A lot of videos don't get that many views. And it's consistently stayed very successful. They have another show called Murder Drones that I think did relatively well, but I think it started to lose viewers as the show went on. But like Amazing Digital Circus has continued to be super successful. They were successful with Murder Drones, so having another show is like obvious. But I think also like Dana Terrence kind of got screwed over by Disney, so people are really excited for her to have more freedom with what she does. And the thing is like even Amazing Digital Circus has gotten on Netflix. It's still on YouTube, and they're still going to keep the episodes on YouTube. But they've also like gotten a sort of deal with Netflix. So if they continue to show that they are successful, this could open up doors for a lot of other indie animators. So yeah, it's supposed to be coming out this year. It didn't say when, but fingers crossed we'll get a like an actual trailer and date later on.
Yeah, here's hoping. And I think you added this. It's the weekend donates $1 million to LA wildfire relief efforts.
Yeah, so if you are not living in America, there was a just terrible, awful fires in Los Angeles. It decimated Los Angeles. So many homes were lost. So many animals have been killed. There's just swaths of forest that are not there anymore. Well, The Weeknd donated $1 million to the wildlife relief efforts. So the thing about The Weeknd is that he has been like just putting his money where his mouth is, because he also donated, I think, was it $2 million to the Palestine efforts?
Oh yeah, neat.
He's been just consistently, it says, okay, over the past 5 years, The Weeknd has donated approximately $10 million to charitable causes ranging from COVID-19 relief and Black Matters to relief from the 2020 harbor explosion in Beirut, Lebanon, to nearly $5 million in emergency humanitarian aid in Gaza. So he just is continuing to, use his money and his fame for good, because he's a very successful musician. Like, even if you don't like him, there's like kind of no denying his success. He has 4 Grammys, 20 Billboard Music Awards, 22 Juno Awards, 6 American Music Awards, 3 MTV Music Video Awards, a Latin Grammy, and he's been nominated for an Oscar.
Wow.
Yeah. He's a powerful, powerful man.
And let's see, is this you or...
This one's you.
Oh, right, and... Multiverses is shutting down for good.
Why?
Well, there was a telltale sign when, a few months ago, Warner Brothers said that the game lost them $100 million. And...
It did. Jesus.
Yeah, and while it was popular at first, it suddenly went down for unknown reasons. With player first game saying, "Oh, that was just the open beta," and when it came back, it made a splash at first, but then its player count started to dwindle, mainly because updates were slow and some features from the open beta were suddenly removed for reasons unknown. And no one knows why.
So why did they keep adding playable characters?
Your guess is as good as mine. Like, Season 5 will be its last one. It will be adding Lola Bunny and Aquaman.
Wish I could get excited about that, but I can't.
No. This is like the second and live service game from Warner Brothers to flop.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they just have to change their marketing strategy or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing nowadays.
Oh well. So, since we missed the Grammys, we are coming here to list the winners because the Grammys I think were last week before, I can't remember. Okay, so the record of the year. I'm not surprised this one. Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
Hang on, it's loading.
The
Okay, there you go.
Oh. Album of the year, also not surprising, is Cowboy Carter by the one, the only Queen Bey.
Song of the
Song of the year. No, you got
Song of the year, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. And
again, not surprised.
Let's see. And best new artist, Chappelle Roan.
Chapel
Roan.
Yes. Now, producer of the year for non-classical is Daniel Negero. He did Can't Catch Me Now from Hunger Games. He worked with Olivia Rodrigo and Chapel. And, what's next? Wait. Okay.
Songwriter of the year.
Song of the year. Yeah. For non-classical, Amy Allen. She has worked with, let's see, Leon Bridges, Sabrina Carpenter, Quo Quetzal and Jesse Murph, Tate McRae. It seems like she mostly has worked with Sabrina Carpenter.
And best pop solo performance, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
Also not really surprised. It was a tight, it was tight for this because it was against Good Luck Babe and Apple from Charlie XCX.
Best pop duo / group performance, Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
See? Their power cannot be understated. Best pop vocal album. Now, this is not really a surprise to me because Sabrina Carpenter has really been putting in the work. Sabrina won for Short and Sweet. Next up, best dance and electronic recording, Never Ender by Justice and Tame Impala.
Okay, and best dance pop recording, Von Dutch by Charlie XCX.
Yeah, you got it.
And best dance / electronic album, Brat by Charlie XCX.
Woohoo! Best remixed recording. I didn't know there was an award for this. Espresso by FNZ and Mark Ronson. They were the remixers. Best rock performance, Now and Then by the Beatles.
Oh, wow. What the hell?
Didn't... Wait, how did that one work? Wait, was this a posthumous release?
I think it might have been.
This might have been. Yeah, the reason we're confused is unfortunately 2 of the Beatles are dead. That's why I was confused.
Best metal performance, Mea Culpa a Ka Ira by Gojira, Marina Fiotti, and Victor Lemassine.
I have not heard of these artists, but congratulations to them.
Best rock song, Broken Man by Annie Clark, songwriter St. Vincent.
I will say this, I am happy that there are still people making rock music. Wait, best rock album is... Did the Rolling Stones release an album?
Seems like it.
Yeah, because they're the ones who won. Hang on, I'm going to check this really quick. Hack-Eyed Diamonds is the 24th studio released on October 23. Was it re-released? I think it might have been re-released because this came out in 2023. So then we have best alternative music performance. We have Flea by St. Vincent.
And best alternative music album, All Buns Screaming by St. Vincent. And,
what a name.
And best R&B performance, Made for Me, live on BET by Mooney Long.
All right, we got best traditional R&B performance, That's You by Lucky Day. Best R&B song, Saturn. I think this was sung by Sia. And all the people, all these names are the people who wrote it. So we got, Rob Bizzle, Jan Ducart, Carter Lang, Solon Rowe, Jared Solomon, and Scott Zhang.
Oh crap, this is me. Best progressive R&B album, it seems like a tie. Why Lord by NX Royce, Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. And So Glad to Know You by Avery Sunshine. Best...
I didn't know that they could tie for the Grammys.
And Best R&B Album,
Interesting.
1111 Deluxe by Chris Brown. Oh,
Boo!
God.
Boo!
Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, best rap performance, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Not a lot of surprise
Oh,
there.
didn't he perform that at the Super
Best,
Bowl?
yeah, he did.
Oh, I
The
saw
song where
one
he,
snippet of his performance. Is this at Drake where they were holding up these signs of these kids reaching for the letter A, like A minor?
oh my god.
Yeah!
Dude, like, Kendrick Lamar is the most elaborate troll on the face of the planet, and I love it. Okay, best melodic rap performance, 3 a.m. by Rhapsody featuring Erica Badu.
Best rap song, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
How many awards did he win?
Seems like
Oh
a
my
lot.
gosh.
Best rap album, Alligator Bites Never Here, Doechii.
Oh, by Doechii! I love Doechii. All right, best spoken word poetry album. I didn't know there was an award for this. The Heart, the Mind, the Soul by Tank and the Bangangas. I hope I'm saying that right. Best jazz performance, Twinkle Twinkle Little Me by Samara Foy featuring Sullivan Fortner.
Oh, nice. And best jazz vocal album, A Joyful Holiday by Samara Joy. And best jazz instrumental album, Remembrance by Chick Corea and Bella Fleck.
All right. Now we have best large jazz ensemble, Bianca Reimagined, Music for Pause and Persistence by Dan Pachia Big Band. Sounds like it was like what's it called? An album to like help raise money for something. Now we have best Latin jazz album called Cuba Lives by Zakai Curtis, Lucia Curtis, Willie Martinez, Camilo Molina, and Ronaldo de Jesus.
Mind me the rest real quick, I gotta get some water.
Oh yeah, sure, I can do the rest. Next is Best Alternative Jazz Album, No More Water, The Gospel of James Baldwin by Michelle DiGello. Again, sorry if I mispronounced the name. Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album is Vision by Nora Jones. Best Contemporary Instrumental Album is Plot Armor by Taylor Igitsy. Best Musical Theater Album is Hell's Kitchen. The Broadway cast and composer is, Alicia Keys is a composer and lyricist. Susannah Bean, Brendan, Victor Dixon, Keisha Lewis, and Mai Joy Moon. The principal vocalists are Adam Blackstone, Alicia Keys, and Tom Kitt. Best Country Solo Performance, It Takes a Woman by Chris Stapleton. Best Duo Pop Performance, Most Wanted by Beyonce featuring Miley Cyrus. Best Country Song, The Architect by sung by Casey Mulgraves by Shake McAnally. Casey Mulgraves and Josh Osborne, those are the songwriters. Best Country Album, Cowboy Carter, not surprising. Best American Roots Performance, Lighthouse by Sierra Farrell. Best Americana Performance, American Dream, also by Sierra Farrell. Best American Roots Song, American Dreaming by, you guessed it, Sierra Farrell. Best Americana Album, once again, you guessed it, Trails of Flowers by Sierra Farrell. Bluegrass Album, Live Volume 1 by Billy Strings. Best Traditional Blues Album, Swinging Live at the Church in Tulsa, the Taj Mahal Sextet. Excuse me. Best Contemporary Blues Album, Mileage by Ruthie Foster. Best Folk Album, Woodland by Gillian Welch and David Rollins.
Let's see.
Hello.
Best
You want to take
Regional Roots Music Album, Kuni from Kalanai Pia. Best Gospel Performance Song,
right.
One Hallelujah by, oh wow, a lot of them. Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Erica Campbell, and Israel Hugaton, featuring Jonathan Ryan Reynolds, Jacqueline Carr, G. Morris Coleman, Israel Houghton, Kenneth Leonard Jr., Tasha Cobbs, Leonard and Naomi Rain.
Next is Best Contemporary Christian Music Performance, That's My King, by CeCe Winans, Taylor Agon, Kelly Campbell, Lord Nix, Jess Russ. Best Gospel Album is More Than This by CeCe Winans.
Best Contemporary Christian Music Album, Heart of a Human by Doe. Best Roots Gospel Album, Church by Corey Henry.
Best Latino Pop Album, Las Mujeres La No Lorraine, Shakira. Pardon me for my very, very, very bad Spanish. Best Música Urban Album, musical urban, Las Terrenas y No Importan by Residente.
And Best Latin Rock or Alternative Album, Quintra las Cornetas. So sorry to all Spanish as speakers out there. Rayuana. Best Música Mexicana Album, including Tejano, Boca Chuica Volume 1 by Karen Leon.
Best Tropical Latin Album is Alma, Corazon y Salsa by Tony Sakar and Mimi Sakor. Best Global Music Album is Bemba Corra, Sheila E. featuring Gloria Estefan and Mimi Sakar.
Best African Music Performance, Love Me Gigi by Thames.
Yeah, I think you
Best
said it right.
Global Music Album, Al Kebulan 2, Matt B featuring Royal Philharmonic Orchestra.
Best Reggae Album, Bob Marley, One Love, music inspired by the film, featuring various artists. Best New Age Ambient or Chant Album. Oh, that's an interesting category. I'm gonna probably butcher these names. I'm so sorry. Trevini by Walter Kellyman, Iru Masamoto, and Chadrika Tandon.
And let's see. Best Children's Music Album, Billow Billow by Lucky Diaz and the Family Jam Band. Best Comedy Album, The Dreamer by Dave Chappelle. No.
All right, best I didn't know they had an award for audiobooks. Okay, so this is the best audiobook, narration, and storytelling recording. Last Sunday in Plains, a centennial celebration by Jimmy Carter. So this was also a posthumous award because Jimmy Carter unfortunately has passed away. And then next is best compilation soundtrack for video media. So when they say a compilation track, that means compilation soundtrack. That means music from either a movie or a television show or even a musical that uses songs from other artists. So Maestro, music by Leonard Bernstein, by Bradley Cooper, Yannick Zaget-Sagan, and the London Symphony Orchestra. You're next.
Best Score Soundtrack for Official Media includes film and television, Dune Part 2, and Best Score Soundtrack for video games and other interactive media, Wizardry Dream, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. This I never heard of.
I haven't heard of this either. Also, the guy who won for Dune Part 2 is Hans Zimmer, so nobody's really surprised there. Best Song written for visual media. So this is, I think, a song specifically made for a movie or a television show. It Never Went Away from American Symphony by John Batiste and Dan Wilson. Best music video. Oh my goodness, how many awards hang on, I need to check to see how many awards Kendrick won. He's had 22 wins. Oh my goodness. So, best music video for Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh shit, this is me. Best music film, American Symphony by John Batiste. And best recording package, Brad by Charlie XCX, Brent David Freeney, and Imogen and Strauss.
I guess this is like for the best way like an album looked, maybe? I'm not 100% sure. Best box or special limited edition package, Mind Games, Simon Hilton, and Sean Ono Lennon. That's John Lennon's son, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, that's John Lennon's son. Best album notes, Centennial, Ricky Riccardi, King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band, and various artists.
Best historical album, Centennial, Megan Hennessy, and a whole lot of other people. Sci-fi Nicole.
Best engineered album, non-classical, I.O. Best engineered album, classical, Bruckner Symphony No. 7. Producer of the Year, Elaine Morton. Best Immersive Audio Album, I.O. Best Instrumental Composition, Strands. Best Arrangement Instrumental or Cappella, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Best Arrangement, Alma. Best Orchestral Performance, Oretz Revolution di Madonna. Best Opera Recording, oh my gosh, Saru Adriana Matar. Best Choral Performance, Ocker. Best Chamber Music, Rectangles and Circumstance. Best Classical Instrumental Solo, Bach Goldenberg Variations. Best Classical Solo Vocal Album, Beyond the Years, The Unpublished Songs of Florence Price. Best Classical Compendium, Oritz. Best Contemporary Classical, also Oritz, and that is it.
Oh
my goodness.
Thank merciful God. That went on forever.
My goodness, I know, I didn't realize how many categories there were. I think they might have more categories than the Oscars.
Okay, and last one, I added this while we were recording. Forbidden Solitaire announced. Yeah, I think I shared this with you. Oh, no, wait.
Oh, you did?
Wait, no, I saw this. Saw you when we post on Blue Sky. That's where I first heard about it. Yeah, so the story is that you find an old CD-ROM game from 1995 at your local thrift store. You remember there was some controversy centered around it, so you never played it until now. Forbidden Solitaire is a card-flipping dungeon horror game about unearthing the contents of a cryptic 1995 CD-ROM that should have never existed. From the creators of Ancient Enemy and Home Safety Hotline. Delve into a 90s FMV-inspired digital hellscape of dungeons and death, with visuals and story and music for the creators of Home Safety Hotline. Survive the horrors with bloodletting solitaire gameplay from the veteran indie team behind Shadowhand and Regency Solitaire. Purchase upgrades from the friendly eye that watches you from the walls.
The friendly eye.
Uncover a variety of game-changing jokers, some helpful, some malignant. Uninstall the game before it's too late. It's available to wish list on Steam, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that one. It looks unique.
Yeah. I'm also, noticing a theme within the games they make. Okay, next up is recommendations. So, do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Okay, my first recommendation is Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, the final in the Sly Cooper trilogy by Sucker Punch back on the PS2. Oh. Now, hang on, let me pull up the wiki real quick. Sly, I first learned about how, I think I already talked about how Sly Cooper is descendant of a long line of ancient thieves, and he learns about the Cooper Vault, which is where all his ancestors would hide the loot on a mysterious island in the Pacific Ocean. However, the island was bought by a madman named Dr. M. And in order for Sly Cooper to make it past the defenses and into the Cooper Vault, not only is he going to have to rely on his friends Bentley and Murray as the brains and brawn of the operations, but also expand their ranks, finding new recruits whose talents can help them get a shot. Now, this contains the semi-open world action adventure stealth platforming that the series is known for, and adds even more gameplay variety, if you can believe it, with other characters who have their own unique abilities. It's on the PlayStation Network. It's also included in the back catalog if you have a PS Plus premium subscription.
Cool.
And my next recommendation is a YouTube channel, Re-Res. They're a duo that does a series I've been hooked on recently called Just Bad Games, where they talk about exactly that, just bad games, no matter how obscure they may be. I saw them review this really bad Spider-Man game on the PC from 1996, where the voice acting was bad, the animation was atrocious, and so many puzzles were monotonous, and the game, combat was really bad too. who like
Oh, I think I've seen these guys before. I just don't think I've watched any of their videos.
games, just bad games, Spider-Man. Yeah, I first heard about him a while ago, and the first one I watched was the massive video about covering Sonic 06.
Ooh.
And let me link it to you so you can watch one of the videos when we're done.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So yeah, I've been hooked on them recently because they have a good sense of humor and they do fun little animated skits.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I know people are going to be like, why do you want to watch people talk about like obscure stuff? Well, because it's really sometimes interesting to see why these games failed. And it could kind of help you, when you try to make your own stuff, avoid some of the mistakes.
Especially since they talk about one game I'm tempted to make John play for 4th of July. It was a interactive movie that was lost media for decades. American Hero, it's called.
What was it called?
American Hero.
Oh!
Yeah, it was really bad.
That kind of sounds like right up y'all's alley, too. So, yeah. See if you can convince John.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Okay, is it my turn? Alright, so I mean, probably everybody's played this or heard of it. Mouthwashing. So I stream on Twitch, and I do this thing on Saturdays where I'll stream longer. Saturdays or Sundays, I'll try to do like a 6-hour stream. I'll go through my Steam and play like, okay, I haven't played this game, I'll play it for stream. And I played Mouthwashing, and I finished the game in like one sitting. It's really, really good. It's a psychological horror though, so if you're not into that, I can't recommend it, okay? But I ended up really like loving it. I like the game looks like an old like PlayStation game. The characters are interesting. There's a lot of layers to it. Again, it is a psychological horror film. It gets very graphic in some scenes, so if you are not into that, I cannot recommend it. And I also now I'm recommending an album called The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. This is by Grammy winner Chappell Rowan. So I discovered Chappell Rowan, I think maybe was it last year, like early last year, and I think the first song I heard from her was Red Wine Supernova, and I really liked it. And then I started hearing more of her stuff because Spotify recommended her to me, and I ended up falling in love. Hot to Go is like a song I think I play daily. She is crazy talented. Like the more I learn about her, the more I like her. She is also a sapphic woman, and it's very obvious, like in her music, that she is not straight because she's talking to like when she sings "Hot to Go," which is kind of like a romantic song. She's talking to a girl. In the song "Good Luck, Babe," she says, "When you wake up next to him in the middle of the night, with your head in your hands, you're nothing more than his wife." So it's obvious she's talking about a woman. When she was starting out as like a artist, she would hire drag queens to like local drag queens, not big name ones, local ones, to come and perform at her show. She has been just amazing. I love her fashion sense. She's very out there with her fashion. She was on SNL a while back, and the dress she wore was so elaborate. Here, I'm going to show you because it's like she's standing next to somebody who was hosting with her, and I find it really funny because she even made a joke saying, "We should have a poll to see whose outfit is the best." That's her on the left.
Let's see. Looking at outfit. Oh wow.
She the guy who made her dress is on YouTube, and he explained that she was inspired by a certain era of showgirls, and I looked at like the inspiration, and he did a really good job. So she's very like artistic. She's very over the top, which I love in my artist. I love my artist to be artsy in more than one way, so I've just fallen in love with her. Sushi makes fun of me because I listen to Hot to Go all the time on stream. I highly recommend you listen to the full album. But that's gonna be it from us. And we are, let's see, 1, 2, 3 episodes away from our like 50th official episode. Not like a holiday episode or anything. This is the official 50th episode of the main What the Hell Was That series.
Oh wow.
Yes, but next up, we're returning back to Canada with Romeo and Juliet. I didn't say that wrong. That is the title. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.